Hey everyone, welcome to this video lesson on my Flatpicked guitar arrangement of Banks of Ohio. If you're not familiar with Banks of Ohio, it's kind of this slow, very major sounding murder ballad, and it just continues to get kind of a bit more brutal and disturbing as it goes along. I'll link to some videos if you want to hear, I guess, the story and a nice version of it. And because it's played slow, it's a nice opportunity to start getting in like arpeggios through your melody. So if you're used to kind of a pick strum, this arrangement has a lot of like playing the melody and then arpeggiating around it. A little bit like cross picking, although I wouldn't call this cross picking because it's not very specific like that. Now, when I first saw stuff like this in tablature, it really confused me because I was like, whoa, there's so many notes, like what's important? And you really want to make sure that you know what's melody and what's not melody. So if you look at the tab and you're not really sure, listen to me play the song. Maybe go through the video arrangement portion of this so you know. Now, yeah, maybe I'll just play through this. Then after that, we'll talk about it. So let's hear what it sounds like. Okay, we're in the key of G. A 1, 2, a 1. And only say that you'll be mine and no others, arms entwined down beside where the waters flow down the banks of the Ohio. Alright, so that's it there. Now, let's get into talking into what's, let's start with the chords. Actually, before the chords, one thing I want to mention that's really cool about this tune is it's these huge pickups. They're 2-bar phrases. And only say, that's one phrase, that you'll be mine. And they have these huge pickups, right? And only say, it's only that last note that comes in on beat 1. So this is a really good tune to practice getting in those big pickups because you do it basically every 2 bars all the way through. Okay, let's talk about the chords. So it's basically just G, D, there's a G7 and a C in there, right? Oh, I guess a D7 if you want to play it. We'll talk about that. So go along with the chords, it's and only say, G chord, that you'll be mine. There's that D chord, in no others. Now here I've written D7, but you don't have to play a D7. You still hear a D7 because that vocals, others, are actually playing that note, that 7th note. So even if I play a D chord, others, we still have a D7. Arms entwined, back to the G. Down beside G7, where the waters flow, C chord. Down the G, then a D of the Ohio G. Right? I tried to do something weird and I kind of messed up when I was playing that. I remember, what was I doing? Oh, I wanted to go to this D7, but I used the wrong finger, so I just did that one. Okay, so let's take a look here through the tab. So I'll put up this first line of tab. Now, like you probably saw in the thing, the tab line is in the video, but if you want a copy of the PDF, you'll have to support me on Patreon for that. So take a look down below where you can support me on Patreon. Okay, here, let me play through the line and then we'll talk about it. That's the next line there. So, this is a trick that we use all the time when we're sliding up to the B. We slide up to this B and we want a G chord. Well, we don't want to go back and play this G because we're middle fingers here. So we just make this little small G. If you're not, you might have played an F chord like this. It's just 2 frets up. You got that G. So it's just a little G triad. That's a nice thing to have in your wheelhouse, right? So you could just strum. But what I'm doing is I'm taking that rhythm, da, 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 and I'm just picking notes. And it could almost be anything, but the pattern that I'm using here is kind of, and I do that through most of this. It's the same da 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 da, same rhythm that we would do if we were strumming, but we're just basically picking. Slide down, there's our note, strum a G chord. And I don't need to get the low notes of the G chord, but I want to get these. Now here's where it's, this is a little bit of a tough move. To get this F sharp, it can be a bit wonky, but it's a nice thing to practice going from this G to this D here that we're going to. So I keep this finger down so that I can pick the notes, right? Hammering on to this D. Here I'm actually just strumming. Now this B is often a weird thing to get. We could get it here open, or often I like to get it with a hammer on, hammering on with my pinky finger on this D. A, B. But because we're going to go to this D7 really quickly, it's a little bit easier to get the B and then hammer onto this chord. It lets us get the new D7 chord shape. Right, that's our next shape. So let's actually go to the next line here. So starting here, we'll pick up into it from the D chord. D7. Okay, so looking at this D7, we hammer on first the index finger because that's the note we need at C, and then we're just making a D7 chord, strumming it. Now here's kind of a cool double stop here that I'm getting, where I'm hammering to basically a D chord shape from my first finger, so C to D here. And this is a nice little trick to go from this D7 to a G, where we can do a chromatic passing double stop here to this G that we had already learned. All right. Again, more double stops. I'm going to keep my pinky here to do this G chord, and I'm going to walk up to the next tab. Here's the next line. Right? Now here we have a little bit of like a flat picked line, because I wanted to get the G7 sound in there, so I'm incorporating this F note into the line. Okay, so let me actually just start this line. So we have the pickup. Those are just arpeggios, same kind of rhythm, da 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 da, right? Da 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 da. Then we have this little line. Now I try to keep my pinky down here, so that I'm going middle finger to third finger. When I want to get this B flat, it's a little bit bluesy, I just kind of bring my middle finger up here, do a little bit of slide. Hammering onto the C chord. I don't need that third finger, so I just don't play it. Again, that same arpeggio pattern. Now here's another line that I could go down. Just basically going down the G major scale. The one trick is that it comes on an offbeat, so that might be confusing to you. 1. Okay, and then I do just a flat pick lick here on this last line. That's it in. And that's kind of a nice little 2-bar line. It's really smooth because it's basically G. We're not really getting any super D sounding notes. It's so 3, 4. Right. Nice turnaround lick. You use pretty much in any tune that goes G, D, G at the end. Okay, so that's the tab there, or that's the arrangement there. I hope you enjoyed this. Hope you learned something from it. Last thing I'm going to do here is just kind of play through at a slow tempo. Remember that the tabs are here, but if you want a PDF copy of it, or you just want to support me because, I don't know, you like me, do that on Patreon, please. That makes it a lot easier for me to do these. I want to do more of these. Okay, here we go. I'm going to play through it, nice slow tempo. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. All right. Till next time. Bye.